Jennifer Lopez finally files for divorce from Ben Affleck.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are calling it quits again.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's second shot at love coming to an end. But were there signs?
The rumors have now proven to be true. Bennifer is over. Again. And just when we thought they'd finally got it right. But what happened? Wait, before we discuss that, let's recap how it all began.
What we gonna do right here is go back. Way back. Back into time.
Just like her career, Jennifer Lopez's personal life would also soar to new heights in the early 2000s. On September 29, 2001, she would marry for the second time to her former backup dancer, Cris Judd, whom she'd met the year before on the set of her Love Don't Cost a Thing music video. The non-denominational ceremony took place at a private residence in Calabasas, California, just a few miles northwest of Los Angeles, and was attended by about 170 guests. That December, Jennifer began work on a new film called Gigli, where she would be the leading lady. The leading man would be Oscar winner Ben Affleck. For the next several months, the two would form a close friendship while working side by side. After the movie wrapped in March 2002, Ben let Jennifer, and the rest of the world, know just how much he enjoyed the experience by taking out full-page ads about it in Variety and The Hollywood Reporter.
Affleck was so captivated by Lopez that he took out full-page ads in Variety and The Hollywood Reporter, praising his co-star's beauty and courage as well as her poise and true grace.
He gushes about her in this ad that he has to pay for and take out. It's for the whole world to see. Now, if you're Cris Judd, I don't know how you take that.
The next month, Jennifer's restaurant Madres had its grand opening.
Madres opened on April 12, 2002 with a celebrity-studded party. Jennifer arrived on the arm of husband Cris Judd.
Tons of celebrities showed up for the event, including Ben.
And who shows up but Ben Affleck, and he brings her flowers.
Where's Jennifer?
Cris Judd is being told, oh, can you get out of the pictures? You know, even though he was a part of creating the grand opening. The whole thing just seems so like, this is not good.
Later, it was revealed that Ben was the one who came up with the restaurant's name.
Talking to Ben Affleck, and I'm like, I need a name for my restaurant, and I can't find it. And it's like, it has that family kind of feeling, like, you know, when you go to your grandmother's house, maybe mamas or papas. And Ben Affleck says, what about Madres? And I go, you know what, that's a good idea.
On July 24th, Jennifer celebrated her 33rd birthday. One of the gifts she received was a beautiful diamond bracelet from Ben. The very next day, less than 1 year after tying the knot, Jennifer filed for divorce from Cris, citing irreconcilable differences. J-Lo wouldn't be solo for long, though. Before the ink was dry on the divorce papers, her and Ben officially came out as a couple. Naturally, due to the timing of her relationship with Cris ending and her relationship with Ben beginning, the question of overlap between the two kept coming up. Actually, rumors about something going on between Jen and Ben had already popped up during the filming of Gigli.
We met like at a couple of parties, you know, we barely paid any attention to each other at all. Just like, hi.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a nice way of saying you iced me at the party.
No, you iced me.
But we met when we did the you know, the read-through for the movie. Yeah, the read-through.
The first read-through, yeah.
He was smitten with her immediately, so I think it's as close as love at first sight as you can get.
They had a lot of chemistry on the set.
She vehemently denied that she and Ben had been romantic prior to her divorce.
We became friends first. We worked together, you know, and we basically just became friends. And then after that, kind of, we stopped working together. I came to New York to do Made in Manhattan, and I was here all summer and everything. Then after that, he came to New York, and
you were friends up to all this time?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I can't believe that.
You know, we became friends first, and I think that was kind of different for me. Usually, it's more of like an attraction thing right off the bat. I think a lot of girls do that. And actually, we worked together, and we became friends first, and there was really no kind of ever an idea of it going beyond that at that time.
Because the whole thing was totally off limits, you know, we did end up becoming friends. Plain and simple.
We told each other too much.
Yeah, tell me about that. She said you gave up too much information about each other.
I probably did. Because when you're not trying to impress somebody, because you don't think that they're gonna be, you don't think that you're ever gonna be dating them, so you're like, whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't have to impress her. You know what I mean? And you end up like, yeah, I did do that. You know what I mean? Or you'll kind of admit to things that you wouldn't necessarily. And the truth is probably. We all try to put this.
He told me about all his ex-girlfriends and everything. That's what I mean, and
Let's dial that down. Yeah. So anyways, when you put out like a kind of a representative, it's like Chris Rock says when you're trying to meet. So it's like the two representatives.
He wasn't trying to rap to me. That's
and instead I just and I think she was the same way. Right. So we kind of worked.
Kind of a cool way to do it.
So it was great. Right. We could get to know each other.
We got to know the real person.
Right.
The real person.
In addition, there were also claims that her relationship with Cris was already on the rocks before she even met Ben. By the fall of 2002, the couple were busy shooting their second film together, Jersey Girl. It was around this time that the media started referring to them as Bennifer. As if doing 2 movies together wasn't enough, Ben would also star as Jen's leading man in the music video for her single, Jenny from the Block. In October, Ben took Jennifer to his parents' home in Boston, where he planned to ask her a very special question.
We go back and we're supposed to just basically spend the weekend with his family. And then when we got there and we go to walk into the house, we drive there, and he was like a little nervous, but I didn't know why. And he kept calling and saying, things like, you know how much I love you, and you know how much I want to spend my life with, all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, like it was a little bit too much during the day, and I was just like, what is going on, And then finally we get to the house and we walk in. Oh, that was another thing. He kept saying how the house is going to be a mess and they'll probably have pizza there for us. And I'm like, stop it already. It's fine. It's enough. What are you explaining? Like, you don't have to explain those things to me. I grew up just like you did. It's fine, So we walk up to the house and I see like little candles up the stairs. And I'm like, oh, look how cute. His mom must have heard that I like candles or something from the tabloids. You know what I mean? So she put them up the stairs. That's sweet. And he opens the door and it is just a blanket, a quilt of rose petals all over the whole entire house. And just everything was just so many candles and vases with bouquets, and my song Glad was playing. Glad for the way you make me feel. And I walk in and I'm just like overwhelmed, like I wasn't expecting it, and I was just like, oh my God. And then I kept thinking, I was like, how did he do this? Because we were in Philadelphia working, and I was like, who did this? And he was like, my mom helped me do it. And I just started sobbing. I was like, oh my God. And it was just it was the best day of my life.
Did he know what you'd say?
I'm sure. Yeah. Well, it was funny because, he had written this letter, which he says was really too long. He didn't realize how long until he started reading it, and I was crying a lot, what I mean? And he's reading it, telling me all the stuff that he wanted to tell me as, I guess he proposed. At the end, he just said, will you marry me? And I was just like, and he had the ring out, but I didn't want to look at the ring because I could tell it was pink. And I was just like, oh God, it can't be pink on top of it. I was just too much for me to handle. I was just like, oh my God. I was like, I can't. He was like, baby, look at it. I was like, I can't. And he was just like, look at it. And I looked at the ring and I was like, oh my God. It's the most magnificent thing. And he was like, you haven't answered me. I was like, oh yeah, yes.
The following month, she released her 3rd studio album titled This Is Me Then, a project clearly dedicated to and inspired by Ben.
Jennifer's love for Ben became the primary inspiration for her 3rd album, This Is Me Then.
The whole album, with the exception of 1 or 2 songs, was about that time in my life, which had a lot to do with him.
Things seemingly continued to go well between the now engaged couple far into the next year.
It seemed Lady Luck was still on Jennifer Lopez's side come 2002. With yet another #1 album under her belt, it was to be her romance with actor Ben Affleck that was to create a worldwide stir.
The paparazzi followed them everywhere. Every single moment of their engagement, of their life was chronicled. And this is where we saw kind of a cleaned up Ben Affleck. He started wearing Gucci and all of Armani and being really dressed up and slick back hair. A very different Ben Affleck than we're used to.
I love him, and I'm very happy we're together, and he's very happy, and we know that we're going to be reported on, and everything we do is going to be reported on.
I'm just looking at the ring. I can't help it. It's beautiful.
Thank you. It is beautiful. It is a very beautiful ring. We're going to have to compromise. I think we're really being conscious of each other's schedules and how we're going to do things, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard, but like I said, there's going to be compromise, but I think we'll work it out because we want to, and I think that's the most important thing, that you want to kind of work it out. It's not like, this relationship is taking up too much of my time. You know what I mean? It's not like that type of situation. We actually both wanted to work.
A year and a half after filming Wrapped, Gigli was finally ready to be launched. The red carpet premiere took place in LA on July 27, 2003, where Bennifer took the opportunity to show off another extravagant gift from her man, a canary yellow diamond ring. Then, 3 days later, news broke about an alleged wild night Ben had at a Vancouver strip club while on a break from the set of his movie Paycheck. Apparently, the wildness also included him crossing the line with one of the strippers. His camp denied that anything scandalous happened. Gigli opened on August 1st. The reviews were so bad, it soon got pulled from theaters.
In August of 2003, at the peak of Bennifer's reign over Hollywood, Gigli had a monumentally poor showing at the box office.
I don't think anyone's going to defend Gigli as a great film, but I think that it was way overplayed how bad it was. It was made fun of. Nobody could watch that film with any objectivity, paying one bit of attention to the plot.
The couple's embarrassment escalated after some critics dubbed Gigli the worst movie of all time.
Jen and Ben had the best distraction from all the negativity, though: their wedding. The date was set, September 14, 2003, at an estate in Montecito, California, approximately 100 miles from Los Angeles. 5 days before, however, Jen and Ben released the following joint statement. Due to the excessive media attention surrounding our wedding, we have decided to postpone the date. When we found ourselves seriously contemplating hiring 3 separate decoy brides at 3 different locations, we realized that something was awry. We began to feel that the spirit of what should have been the happiest day of our lives could be compromised. We felt what should have been a joyful and sacred day could be spoiled for us, our families, and our friends. The canceled nuptial turned out to be the best thing they could have done, since just 4 months later, in January 2004, Bennifer would be no more.
He was used to being kind of a media darling, you know, the guy who wrote the amazing script and won the Oscar and was always looked at as credible, and now he was, you know, something else, tabloid fodder, and how did this happen? And when it started falling apart, it started kind of imploding from the inside out.
Just days before their wedding in September 2003, Ben got cold feet.
He didn't leave me at the altar, but a few days before the wedding, we did call it off. The pressures from the outside world, plus what was going on within our relationship, which is personal and private, it was starting to come apart at the seams, and even though we were trying to hold it together, it was slipping through our fingers. And I had to face that fact.
Around that time, Ben Affleck was gambling, and that was said to be one of the main issues. Ben also spent some time in a strip club that caused quite a bit of controversy.
For months, gossip columnists have been asking, will they, won't they? And this week, J-Lo has the answer.
And then right days before their wedding, they call it off.
On January 20th, 2004, the couple announced a permanent split. Fans speculated that Bennifer had been fed up with Ben's immaturity and gambling. But the tabloid frenzy couldn't have helped.
Ben and Jen went out to dinner one night and she gave him the ultimatum. She said, you know, you're gonna marry me or this is over. And he said, then this is over.
On January 20th, 2004, Ben and Jen made it official. The engagement was off. The announcement had a domino effect. The director of the couple's second collaboration, Jersey Girl, decided the film needed emergency surgery.
There was a wedding shot, about 12 seconds long, where she's wearing a gown, he's wearing a tux, people are whipping rice at him, and then they kiss. So when they didn't get married, it just felt like leaving that in would just be a little creepy. You don't want people going like, I saw on E that they didn't get married.
One reason why some of Jennifer Lopez's performance didn't end up in the movie is that Jersey Girl was released in the wake of Gigli. So Kevin Smith realized that people didn't want to see Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez together.
Jersey Girl premiered on March 26, 2004.
Once Gigli kind of tanked at the box office, I realized our movie would never open up at #1.
In fact, the film landed in 5th place and only grossed $8 million opening weekend. Still, director Kevin Smith did not blame Jennifer and Ben.
I don't regret they went out. A, Affleck got laid. B, I got much better performance out of him and her because they were in love at the time. I have really great memories of doing this movie. It's wonderful. I loved it. I loved every minute of it, and I'm really proud of it. I'm still friends with Jen, and we're on very good terms.
In April 2021, after Jennifer had just ended her engagement to former MLB player Alex Rodriguez, and Ben had split with actress Ana de Armas, the two were spotted hanging out again. Sources claim that the pair being spotted together was purely platonic, though, since they'd always maintained a friendship. That July, in an Instagram post compiling a bunch of images from her 52nd birthday celebration, Jennifer ended the collection of pics with a photo of her and Ben kissing. It was the official public confirmation that they had, in fact, rekindled their relationship. 1 year later, in an exclusive video published in her personal fan newsletter, Jennifer announced that she and Ben had gotten engaged for the second time, 20 years after the first proposal. The video showed her grinning from ear to ear as she showed off her pale green diamond engagement ring, with an inscription on the inside saying, "Not going anywhere."
He hands me a ring, and he said, "It's a green diamond. My favorite color." Feeling so lucky. It's not often you get a second chance at true love. We feel very lucky.
I love you too.
On the inside of this ring right here, my engagement ring that he gave me, it says "not period, going period, anywhere period." Where my first diamond ring, he gave me the pink diamond ring, it said "sing." And this one he put "not period, going period, anywhere period," because that's how he would sign his emails when we started talking again.
The couple were married in Las Vegas on July 16, 2022, and held a wedding celebration for family and friends the following month in Georgia. Then, in April 2024, people started noticing that Jen and Ben hadn't been spotted together for weeks. The next month, it was revealed that Ben had moved out of their shared home in Beverly Hills. Bennifer 2.0 were definitely on the rocks. While sources claim that even though they were living separate lives, there was still hope for the pair's relationship. Sadly, everything that happened after that would only further speak to their marriage being over. Jennifer went on an Italian getaway in June and spent her 55th birthday on July 24th in the Hamptons without Ben. Oh yeah, and their wedding anniversary on July 16th? It came and went without a word about it from either of them. Something positive was trying to be made of Jennifer seen leaving Ben's rental home in LA on his birthday, August 15th, but all it may have been was a final farewell. 5 days later, on the second anniversary of their Georgia wedding, Jennifer officially filed for divorce. She submitted the paperwork herself instead of through a lawyer, waived her right to spousal support, and asked the judge to deny Ben the same type of payment according to the documents obtained by TMZ. Since they didn't have any children together, there are no custody issues. An insider told NBC News that they did not have a prenuptial agreement, meaning the money earned by both parties since their July 2022 wedding in Las Vegas is considered communal property between the couple. Additionally, Jennifer listed the date of separation as April 26th, which is just days before the rumors of marital issues surfaced when she arrived at the Met Gala as a co-host without Ben. So what happened this time? Some are already speculating that the answers are in Jennifer's documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told. about her movie, This Is Me Now, A Love Story, the romantic drama musical film and visual accompaniment to her 9th studio album, also titled This Is Me Now, about her rekindled romance with Ben, as well as a part 2, if you will, to her 2002 album, This Is Me Then, that was inspired by the couple's first go-around. They clearly had very different takes on what aspects of their relationship they were comfortable making public. One obvious example can be seen in their feelings about Jennifer sharing all the letters and emails that they wrote to each other over the years, dating back to when they first met with her collaborators to gain inspiration for the songs on This Is Me Now.
On that first day, I showed everybody this book. This book is a book that Ben gave me on our first Christmas back together. It is every letter and every email that we wrote to each other from 20 years ago and today. The greatest love story never told by Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, 2001 and 2021 and counting.
I came to the house one day and there was like, she had told me the musicians are coming, this great producer, Roger, blah, blah, blah. And then I went down there and my book that I had given her was down there. She was like, I've been reading and this is the kind of inspiration I've been showing them the book. I was like, you've been showing all the musicians all the letters that, and they were like, yeah, we call you Ben Affleck. And I was like, oh my God.
Jennifer even admitted that Ben was reluctant to be featured in the revealing behind-the-scenes project.
I don't think he's very comfortable with me doing all of this, but he loves me. He knows I'm an artist and he's gonna support me in every way he can because he knows this. He can't stop me from making the music I made and writing the words that I wrote. He can't, and that's gonna happen. And he doesn't want to stop me. He wants to do that, but that doesn't mean he's, kind of comfortable being the muse and being
Jen was really inspired by this experience, which is how artists do their work. They get inspired, their personal life, it moves you. I know as a writer, a director, I certainly do the same things. But things that are private, I had always felt, are sacred and special because, in part, they're private. When Jen and I broke up, the catalyst for that was this massive amount of scrutiny around our private life.
We bought a Bentley and drove around town with it. It's like, yeah, take pictures of us. It wasn't that. We were just like celebrating our lives and our love.
I had a very firm sense of boundaries initially around the press. While Jen, I don't think objected to it in the way I did. I very much did object to it. Getting back together, I said, listen, one of the things I don't want is a relationship on social media. And then I sort of realized it's not a fair thing to ask. It's sort of like, you're gonna marry a boat captain and you go, well, I don't like the water, We're just two people with kind of different approaches trying to learn to compromise.
This is all, of course, just speculation. Only time, as well as the former couple's willingness to talk, can reveal why Jen and Ben didn't end up living happily ever after.